Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Stories Podcast for the Love of Books. I'm Shara Goswick, your host. Today on the podcast, I chat with Jason Heffler. Jason wrote a book called Tongue Tied, and it's about a chameleon who gets embarrassed to speak because her tongue gets tied up. Jason grew up with a stutter, and so he knows what it feels like to seem different than the people around you. I think this book is great for all kids because it talks about being okay with who you are. It talks about bullying. It talks about having a support system around you and appreciating those that believe in you and want to help. This is an excellent book. I recommended it to lots of people, lots of teacher friends, lots of people that I knew would enjoy reading it. And then I've heard from others that have ordered it because they were excited about it. I encourage you, after you listen, if you know someone that could benefit from this book, get online and go order it. Thanks for being here. Hi.
Hi.
Well, I'm so excited to talk to you. I had this plan at the beginning of my third year to start speaking with fiction authors, and they have been hard to come by. So thank you for saying yes.
Of course, I'm
Yeah,
happy to talk to anyone who wants to tell cool stories.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. So your book is precious. I love it. And I'm wondering if you have you gotten this into schools? Are you trying to get this into schools? Because this is a great book to work with kids who are having speech issues.
Yeah, I haven't gotten it into schools yet. My job keeps me pretty busy,
Yeah,
so it's tough to
do
pitch
both.
all these schools. I'm working on podcasts
Mhm.
and I did a TV interview, so I'm leaning heavily into that those mediums rather
Yeah,
than the old school. But I would love to get it into schools. I just really don't know how and don't have the time to individually pitch them.
right. So where are you located?
I'm in Austin. My
Oh,
wife
okay.
and I moved here in October. We used to
Awesome.
live in LA for
Oh,
10 years.
wow. Yeah. Well, I'm in Texas. I've been in Texas my whole life. I know some teachers and I want to tell them about this book. I know you're busy with full-time work. Even would you do like Zoom calls or something if schools would? Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I just think this is such a great resource. So I'm going to tell some teachers about it and see if they would be interested in something like that. So,
Thank you.
what inspired you to write this book? Tell everybody your story and why you wanted to write this book.
Yeah, sure. So I obviously grew up with a stutter. You can hear it.
Mhm.
I got bullied pretty bad. It was rough. Um, but I never had any resources to really, to really hold in my own hands and help. I had an amazing support system with my
Mhm.
family. They're all incredible. My parents supported me like crazy. My brother protected me from bullies. My sister would like lash out if anyone said anything. So I had them, but I didn't have anything um, tangible
Yeah.
to really help. So I pretty much, wrote the book that I needed as a kid. It's kind of like a roadmap to self-acceptance when your voice kind of betrays you.
Right.
Yeah.
So why did you pick a chameleon as the main character, which she's so precious, but why did you pick her as the main character?
Thank you. I picked her because I was like a chameleon. Like I would speak and I would get embarrassed when
Yeah.
I would stutter, and then I would kind of like retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good, I love it because it makes sense with her tongue getting all tied up. I think it makes sense. So
Thanks.
you talked about being bullied and then you said you wrote this book because it was something that you needed. Was there a turning point when you were like, I need to do this? Was there anything that happened or was it just after so long you just decided this was something you wanted to do?
I wouldn't say there was like a big aha moment. There were plenty of those in my life that led up. Um, it was always something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I, like a lot of people, are procrastinators.
Mhm.
So one day my wife was just like, "Why haven't you done this yet? Like you just like," and I was like, "I don't know." So I had one of those nights where I crushed a bunch of coffee and I just pulled an all-nighter and I wrote the entire book
Oh,
in
wow.
one night. It was just like inspired.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, but I did have plenty of experiences
Yeah.
back in the day where I was like, you know, dejected
Yeah.
and where I was like, eventually I want to help kids.
Yeah. Did you feel like you kind of dealt with some of the same emotions that you had growing up as you were writing this, thinking about your own story? Did it kind of, yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
for sure.
It was sobering in a way,
Yeah.
like to think back on all of it, because you repress a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just, with speech impediments, like anyone who gets bullied back in the day,
Right.
takes a toll and then you repress it. So, um, going back and harnessing those memories and writing it, it was definitely, I think, sobering.
Yeah. What message do you hope that children with speech disorders, when they read this book or they have it read to them or they learn about it, what are you hoping that they learn from this?
I mean, a lot. So it's for parents as well. It's not just for
Yeah.
kids. But for kids, I'd say the main message
Hmm.
is that if you have a speech impediment, you can still live a very fulfilling and happy life.
Hmm.
Um, I'm proof of it. I'm a relatively successful guy. I found this like beautiful wife and like it's kind of ingrained in your head from an early age that this thing you have has to be fixed or cured.
Right.
But doctors around the world will tell you that 100% fluency isn't
Hmm.
attainable. It's just not true. Um, like even the big stutterers, the famous ones who we all hear about, they it sounds like they've gotten over it, but every now and then they'll stumble.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when the main message is that, you don't have to cure it. You
Right.
can live with it and still live a fulfilling life.
Yeah. So in the book, Cadence has a couple of friends, the cricket and the frog, that help her. What are the importance? And like you said, it's not even about speech necessarily. It can be about anything that you're going
Yeah.
through. The importance of those kinds of friends in our lives. Why are those kinds of people so important?
They're everything.
Yeah.
I I mean, you can't go through anything alone,
Right.
right? Um, you need to find people who bring out confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Without my family and without my wife and my best friends,
Hmm.
I can't say I would be the person I am right now.
Yeah.
I think I would be kind of a shell of myself.
Yeah.
And it's tough to find those people. It's almost like a catch 22.
Hmm.
Like you're scared to put yourself out there and try to meet new friends and new love interests because you're scared they're going to judge you.
Yeah.
Um, so it's tough, but once you find them, they will help you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, off the book topic, if you moved from LA to Austin, did you do something with music or something that you do? So,
Yeah,
I
I
probably
do.
figured.
I do. So I get that question a lot. So I actually my quote unquote 9 to 5 is in music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm the managing editor
Mhm.
of EDM.com.
Oh, wow.
It's the world's top dance music site.
Yeah, that's cool.
I DJ'd for years as
Oh,
well.
did you? That's
Yeah,
neat. That's very neat.
love
I just
music.
had to ask. I know that has nothing to do with the book. I thought he must be doing something with music if he moved from LA
Yeah,
to Austin
it's not
or
like
acting.
music is not like in the book, but it's definitely a part of my story. Like
Oh, yeah.
back when I was DJing, I would go on stage and I would scream into the microphone and my stutter would like disappear.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. Like people that have a stutter when they sing, it doesn't come out when they sing. That's so fascinating. I think
Yeah.
it's very cool.
It's
Very
cool.
cool.
I can't quite explain it. Maybe they're just more comfortable in that medium.
Yeah,
Because a lot of stutterers, they find, you know, conversations like this much more stressful.
right.
Yeah.
I understand that. So, do you think kids should, if you were talking to a group of kids, would you encourage them to look at any kind of, whether it's a stutter, any kind of anything that they're dealing with as a superpower? Something that, what, they're going to, like you said, it's going to be there. So let's just move on. Let's work with it and move on. Is that something you would
Yes,
suggest? Yes.
definitely. I mean, I tell kids all the time, your stutter will give you thicker skin
Hmm.
than what kids who don't have speech impediments will
Yeah.
have. And
Yeah.
if you just it's hard to say because kids don't really understand patience.
Hmm.
So, I just say if you just stick with it, hold on, I promise you'll come out the other side and you'll just be stronger than everyone.
Yeah. I believe that. I
Yeah,
believe that.
like the bullying taught me that cruelty comes from ignorance.
Absolutely.
Kids don't like they don't understand.
Yeah.
They're just ignorant.
Yeah.
So, part of the book's goal is to educate children that, there's empathy out there, just
Yeah.
probably not with kids.
Right. Right. They don't understand.
Yeah,
Have you done any book signings or anything where you've been able to meet some kids and you have?
I have. Yeah. One recently in Philadelphia, where
Oh,
I'm
okay.
from, I met a family. The son had a stutter, a very bad one,
Yeah.
where, I mean, there's levels. Like
Right.
mine is relatively okay, where I can have a convo like this. This boy couldn't get a word out, um, and his parents were very thankful. They were
Yeah.
because I met him and like I said prior, I looked just like a sleek, normal guy
Hmm.
with my wife, and so the family was like, we just really wanted to thank you for coming out and showing him that it's
Yeah.
not going to always be like this.
Right. I know that was encouraging.
Yeah.
So you talk about self-acceptance and in your book you want, Cadence learns that it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be different. You don't have to be like everybody else. How can people who are working with kids, parents and teachers and anybody that's working with kids, how can we nurture that in kids who feel different?
Yeah, I mean, so specifically with stutterers and other, you know, kids who are scared to speak up for
Yeah.
for whatever reason, um, really teaching parents that what kids are saying matters, not how they're saying it.
Right.
Like, praise the effort over the fluency, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then another big one for me, at least, and this is what really changed my life and like made it turn around,
Hmm.
was just acknowledging it off the bat.
Right.
Like in job interviews, when I graduated college and I was trying to find my first job, I was doing all these interviews. And I could tell in a lot of them that the employer was, a little weary because they thought that I was nervous or
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
communicate. So after getting rejected a lot,
Yeah.
I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna like see if this works. I'm gonna just tell them off the bat,
Right.
like quote unquote, own it.
Yeah.
And then in my interviews, I would start them off and say, "Hey, I just want to let you know I have a stutter. It's in no way affects my ability to communicate or work hard.
Yeah.
It's just this thing I have, and I hope that's okay.
Right.
And I found like right after I said it, the employer would say stuff like, "I respect that. I I respect your candor."
Yeah.
They loved my honesty,
Yeah.
and it actually played to my advantage.
That's awesome. That's such a great
Yeah,
idea. And just get it out there. Just get it
get it
out there.
out there. Just
Yeah.
don't hide behind it. I mean, it's if the person that you're speaking to knows that
Right.
you're not nervous, it's just like an actual condition that you have,
Right.
odds are they will be empathetic and they'll understand,
Yeah.
unless you're a 6-year-old bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I have a son who has autism and he,
Oh,
he is quirky sometimes and I just see my son. I don't see anything else. And so it's
sweet.
interesting to watch people around him that don't know him. And some people are totally fine and, want to talk to him. And then some people are like, they don't know how to be around him. And I hate that because I'm like, you're missing out on a great kid,
Yeah,
somebody
that's
that he just,
awesome.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And normally when I hear people say that, like I have an autistic son, or I used to say I'm sorry to hear that, but
Right.
it's like I'm not so sorry. They're
Right.
normal people, and we should
Right.
treat them like anyone else.
Yes.
I have a cousin who's severely autistic,
Yeah.
and we just treat him like he's like part of the
Right.
group, the family.
Yeah, because he is. I mean, he
Yeah, he
is.
is.
So
I mean, he should be. They should be treated no differently.
absolutely. So do you have any more writing plans? Do you want to write any more after this or more
I do. I
consistency? Yeah.
do. I don't know yet when.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. My job keeps me busy, but I'm trying to think about ways to write for an older crowd, um, high school stutterers, potentially college as well. Obviously, I'll have to ditch the whimsical forest character format. So I don't really know what that will look like, but that's my goal.
But I just feel like this will be such an encouraging book for kids in schools. And so I'm going to tell everybody I know, all the teachers
Thank
I
you.
know.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, yes.
Please do, because that's my goal is to get it in schools and in the kids' hands
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I think it would be great. And I worked I'm not a teacher. I did not want to be a teacher, but I worked as a librarian for 5 years at an elementary school. And I got to have some authors come and talk to them. And even some, we didn't get to do it, but they offered to talk over Zoom. And the kids get so excited about that when they get to meet an author of a book. Like that's a really big deal. So I just think it would be really cool, if you even if you didn't get to talk to them, if they could have the book. But I think it'd be
I
really
would
cool
love
if you
that.
could
I would
talk to them. So
absolutely love that.
yeah, I will absolutely do it. I'm rooting for you.
Thank
Well, is
you.
there anything I didn't ask you about that you want to tell me about?
Um, I don't believe so. I think we hit everything relatively quickly too.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of questions, but you answered them. You answered
Thank
all of
you.
them pretty
Well, I
quickly.
appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. I thank you for being here. I appreciate what you're doing. And I really, like I said, I'm rooting for you. So I will be in touch. Hopefully, have lots of names for you.
Thank you.
All right.
And again, thank you for buying the book
Oh, yeah.
and for spreading it to schools. It means a lot.
Sure. Good deal. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. Will you enjoy the rest of your day?
You as well.
Alrighty. Bye bye.
Ashar.